Starting now, Be'ez Hashem Yisborach, Meseches Peah, Daf Nun. This sugya is a sugya from Nesechtes Nadarim, really, and it's copied here. It's not easy sugya. It's very hard to understand the Shakta Batarian, and we try to give a good shot, and hopefully we mechavan le'emes. Omer Oven Barab Chia, Hefker Aniyim, V'zoch B'mashir. Taflukt der Mei Rabbi Yossi. Adait der Mei di Omer Ki Mish Adam Mafke Dova Meshu So Hefker Hefker. He holds once your Mafke it's Hefker. Adait der Rabbi Yossi di Omer. Ein Hefker Yossi Tachs der Bailam Elabes Chia. Ein Hefker Hefker. So it means that according to Rabbi Yossi, it only happens when another one is zoich or something. It means, so if the one that zoich was a usher, never went out of the shus. It never happened, because it can only be chal when the right person is zoich. So if you hold that, like according to Shammai, let's assume that Hefker Aniyim have a Hefker, and a usher was zoich, it's not a zechiyah. So it means never became turned into Hefker. According to the mayor, that's independent. Not that the Zechiyah causes the Hefker. Not that the Zechiyah causes the Hefker. It's the fact that he was Mafker, that itself makes the thing to happen. That makes the Hefker to happen. Now the Gemara goes into more details. Ad kedoin k'shef kira l'zman mu'et. Al kira l'zman merubah, what's the halacha if he was Mafker for a longer period of time? So what does this mean? Let's say a person is mafkir something for 1,000 yom, for 1,000 days. So it's not so clear what I'm saying here, because we don't know on what the Gemara is asking this question, and there's a lot of speculations here. But I think that this question, At Kadoin, Kishev Kirel Mamud, the question is goes according to Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi is the one that says that you can be choizer from Hefker. That's his yesod. You can be choizer from Hefker. Hefker is not a thing that happens and it's over. You can always change your mind. Say, you know what? I changed my mind. That's Rabbi Yossi's yesod. That's how Hefker works. It's a constant thing that you can be choizer. So we're asking now, I understand if a person is mafkir something, let's say for 10 days, so his whole initial thing wasn't such a strong thought, so he can be mafkir. He can be choizer. How about the zman meruba? Zman meruba means, in this context, for a set amount of time. And this is in this sugya, one of the most vaguest things that's very hard to understand. The Gemara doesn't differentiate, and the Brisa does differentiate. It's a hard sugya, but we're trying our best. So if a person said, I'm mafkir this for 1,000 days, the question is, can he change his mind? Maybe then it's considered like a regular hefker. Since he said a very huge amount of time, it's already considered a regular hefker and he can't change his mind. So according to this, the mahalach would be that Rabbi Yossi is only saying his din by a hefker l'zman. Hefker sedeyu. Regular hefker. It's a bryce at the sefta in Masechta Maestros. Beis v'gimel yomim choyzer boy. It says that the first 2 days he can change his mind. And the chayr, because Pashtus Advarim is because he's still not 100% Goma Bedaita, he can still, just like Toshke de Dibber, because Mashasukum by Inyan, it's a Svara that he's still in the middle of the process, he can change. He says a very positive zach. He says that, let's say 4, it's exact number, the price. If you give him exactly 3 days, if he made his hefker on Sunday, so he has Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A Wednesday, it's already too late. He can't change his mind anymore because, it's hefker. Now on this, we add some brackets here in order to make sense out of the sugya. And I'm asking everybody to please learn the sugya many times till they can come out with a better pshat. But here, the Shimon Daina is a certain Amoira that said in front of Reb Zera, don't make 3 days, how about 4 days? It's not Dafka. Amalei, Kim that Reb Zera said, What do you mean? You can't. The Brisa says Ach Gimel, so you must be an exact number, because if not, what is the number? 4, 5. So LMI, you are not right. It's an exact number. Now the Gemara brings Lishon Masnissen Masayela Rav Zera. It says in that Brisa there in Maestros, it says Medvar Mamurim She'ein Adam Choizem Efkeiroi She'Hefker Stam. So it's the Gemara is saying that basically Rav Zera said there is a set amount of time you can be choizer. That's the first 3 days, but then it's over. So this is Lishna Masayela Rav Zera. That Hefker Stam you cannot be choizer. Not like if Shimon Dayan wanted to say that even by Hefker Stam you can also be choizer. And it's open actually. It says in the Brisa, Hefker Stam you cannot be choizer. He wants to say you can be choizer after 5 days, after 10 days. He doesn't even say it, but he says no. Hefker Stam you cannot be choizer as a rule. Within the 3 days, okay, but really Hefker Stam, it's ultimate, it's over. And that, assuming that also goes according to Rabbi Glick, you cannot be choizer. You cannot change your mind. Aber im Omer Sodem Hefkeres Yom Echad Shabbos Echad Chodesh Echad Shavua Echad Im Ad Shel Beim Hu Acher Yochel Achzor Bei Am Shel Beim Acher En Yochel Achzor Bei. So here the Brisa says if you gave a certain time, a set amount of time, then you could be choizer. So here the Brisa is making a sharp distinction between a Hefker Lezman Kotzuv or Hefker Stam. This is the sharp distinction here. If you didn't say any, just like there's Nazir Stam, there's actually Nazir Le'olam and Nazir Lezman. And the Gemara says that if you say a time, any time, even if you say for 1,000 days, that has one category. If you say forever, it's a different category. So forever means you cannot be choizer. If you said for 1,000 days, you could be choizer. This is Reb Zera's distinction. Now the Gemara fears always Hada Omra Huzma Meruba Huzma Muat Hada Omra Lechashel Aroma. So there's a few things you can learn from this Brisa. Number one, once you mention a number of days, we consider this like Hefker Lezman and you can be choizer. Number two, we can learn Lechashel Aroma, because there's a certain aroma people want to be pater from meiser, so they're mafker, and then they are zoiche from a hefker. This is not from the fact that he's choizer. You have to make distinction. Choizer from hefker means he changes his mind. He retracts. So we don't have to be worried a person is going to be zoiche and it's his whole hefker is just a pater from meiser. That's the way it can happen. If he's choizer from his hefker, for sure he's chayv b'meiser. That's not a question. But if he's choizer, but if he's zoiche, it's an aroma. He just did it to get rid of meiser. But we say you don't care. Adom is olam mafke v'choizer v'zoiche boy. Yeah, adom pshita shil zereb zeh uzma merube uzma mut. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much it is. Okay, so this is the sugya that's brought in the Dorim and it's brought down here, and this is the pshat that we suggest, and everybody could decide to choose the pshat. Now going to the Mishnah, Kol Omer Yasada, Ma'anan Kayom, Imshim Davram Esuyim Dayashnaim. It says if all the bundles are kav, and one is 4. So what's the question? What are we talking here? If it's davar mesuyim, 2 should be enough. Imishim shura daya gimel 3. Chad barabon omer kumer shlakish adod Rabbi Yochanan. He said over these were Rabbi Yochanan. What is it? He said a nice pshat. He said it works like this. Kol sheyochel lechalkel so is shura ke b'Shammai. That's the gather. 4 according to Shammai, shura is considered 4. That's what Mishnah says later on. Shura is 4. if you've got 4 bundles, it's not Shichcha. So if you can divide this 4 carbon into 4 pieces, it will be a shur according to Shammai. That is a big shir enough that's not Shaya Shichcha. That's the reason why we have the number 4. It's a same ratio. Maybe it's also the same din, or maybe not. Maybe if you have bigger bundles, so maybe you need more than 8 carbon. Gafa, Gadish, Bakar, he has, it's called a makom mesuyim. The oimer that he forgot was close to a fence. So this is a question: if it's shaykh to say shikha if your bundle is close to a makom mesuyim? The Gemara is going to go now to this sugya. V'kasha the Shammai. Bakar b'keilim dosh ein mesuyim v'inem omim she'ein shikha. Why is it not shikha? It's dosh ein mesuyim. Means Bakar and Kalim, that's not something special. And then the other 2 items is the opposite kasha. The kasha of the Basidl, Gafa, Gadish, Dovashim Mesuyim. It's a fence, and a Gadish is a very big, large thing. It doesn't move from its place. So Basidl it's hard to understand Basidl's Svara, why by Gafa and by Gadish they say it's Shichcha. You have 4 items here: Gafa, Gadish, Bakar, Kalim. So we understand Shammai in the things that are strong, but we don't understand them in the other things by Bakar and Kalim. And Basil the opposite. We understand the Shichcha by Bakar and Kalim, but we don't understand by Gafa and Gadish. Okay, now we don't answer this question. Now the Mishnah says later on in Peah Zayin Locha Aleph, the Zayis that has a special place is not Shichcha. That's what the Mishnah says there. If the olive tree is next to a gas, it's pirza, then there's not shayach shikha by that olive tree. Masniz the Beishamai. The Beishamai oimrim in shikha. That Mishnah matches up with Beishamai that makom mesuyam is not shikha. Omer Reb Yaseh de Behakalihi Tamun davar mechuber mitzad davar mechuber. No, it's not a good. There Tamun davar mechuber mitzad davar mechuber. Bram hoche davar talish davar mechuber. Here the problem is Hillel says because you're having a davar talish, you're having a oimer, so that's not so. But they're talking about you forgot it's an olive tree that you forgot to pick the olives, and that's next to davar mechuber. Then Hillel agrees that it's not shikha. Amar Rabbi Eli, Sha'alti as Yeshua, I asked Rabbi Yeshua, Be'elu oimrim pliga b'sham b'sil. Which type? What's the case? The Mishnah says here that we have in our Mishnah the 4 things that they argue b'sham b'sil, but he asked him what was exact Masoira and which things do b'sham b'sil argue. Amali, he answered me, but Torah zois, and I swear in this Torah, Oima samach legafa legadish lebakar lekiem shacha. It's these 4 items. Shammai in a shikha salam shikha. Shabbos yetz leblezer amali leinech. That's what my Masoira was. That who's talking now? That was Rabbi Yeshua. Sha'altis Rabbi Yeshua. Okay. Rabbi Yeshua answered him that. And then Eli says, when I came to Rabbi Lezer Amali, he said to me, no. It's a different version of Rabbi Yeshua. Not like Rabbi Yeshua. For sure, everybody agrees that it is Shikha. Even Shammai agrees that it's Shikha. He already picked it up, and then he forgot it again. After picking it up and putting it next to these 4 things, he forgot it. Then Shammai says it's not Shikha. That's the point. So it's not really the point. This is just the side point. The point is since he picked it up and it was Zoicha, that's why Shammai says it's not Shikha. No. Even if you picked it up, you can still forget it again. Yes, it's right. So he agreed to the words of Rabbi Eliezer, that really in a case everybody agrees that it's shikha. Basil says even a bigger chiddush, even if he picked it up, it's still Shichcha. Tamatanina. It says in the Mishnah, Maseches, it says in the Mishnah, Maseches Ksubas, Ha'isha shenaflo nechasim, actually tesaris. If she has nechasim, her father was nifter, and she got nechasim from the father's house. Moed nesham besil shemecheres ben isenes bekayim. Lechatchilik she could even sell it. However, if the nechasim fell for her after she became betrothed, then some achleik sham besil. The Shil says lechatchila she should not sell it since she acquired these nechasim after she was this aris. On this mission, Pinchas boy Kumer Rabbi Yasser, he asked a question from Rabbi Yasser. He asked him, I don't understand. In this case, we know that only 6 places where Shammai is Mekel, still is Machmer. However, this is another case. Basil says Loitimkar. Basil is Machmer on the woman. She is Machmer. He says this woman cannot go ahead and sell these nechasim that fell after she became betrothed. She cannot sell it, so it's a chumrah. Amalei, so Rabbi Yasser answered for a Pinchas, no. Le'sina misna eladover shechoyim shnei tzedadim v'kalm shnei tzedadim. We're only saying that the list of the kulei b'shamai and chumrah b'sil is talking about a thing that's according to b'shamai it's kal throughout, b'sil it's chumrah throughout. But in this case, you're not enumerate it as a kulei b'shamai v'chumrah b'sil, because who says b'sil is actually machmer? It's not correct. In other words, who says he's saying, oh, we're making a chumrah, the woman can't sell it? No. Maybe look at the husband's perspective. We're making a kula for him that we're telling his wife should not sell it. So we're making it easier for the husband. So it's actually a kula. Shammai is the one that's machmer. He says, make it bad for the husband, that the woman can go ahead and sell it. So we can only enumerate stuff that we can say 100% sure Basil is machmer. Here, who said Basil is machmer? It's questionable. Maybe Basil is makel for the husband. If that's your logic, so when it comes, the Mishnah enumerates one of the things that's kulei b'shamai chumrah Basil, the fact of Hefker. So Shammai says Hefker aniyim is chal, and Basil says no, it's not, and that is enumerated as a chumrah Basil. But again, so according to your logic, it should not even be enumerated there, because who said Basil is machmer? No, Adarab, he's mekel. Who's So there it says in the Mishnah that this is called kulei b'shamrei and chumrah basil. Shammai is mekel. He says, but maybe basil is mekel. Basil is mekel for the balabayas. He says it's not chal. He's making it easy for the balabayas. So why do you consider that as this group of Mekule b'sham v'chumer b'sil? No, b'sil has a certain aspect of kula in this statement. He's making it easy for the balabayas. So the word name, it's not true. Kali lanim and chayim balabayas medatu of crew. No, you can't consider that it's no. That's 100% pure chumrah. It's b'sham. It's 100% mekel. Because the only perspective here is from the Aniyim's lenses. Because Balabayas wants to be mafkaret, so he's not interested to keep it. So we only have to look for the Aniyim. It's easier for them, right? So B'Shamai is 100% kula, and Basil is 100% chumrah. Let's just finish one more case. Oh, I guess this one more case, and then because we're going already into Daf Nun Beis. ואם אומר לבתנין, אוי שיסומך לגפה לגודש של הבוקר לקיים את שוכב אי קל בלבייס, לכם בלעניים. בתנין, This is also mentioned as the 6 things that kula b'shamar churm b'sil. And here also we can ask the question that who says, according to Yerushalmi, that if there's any tzad kula, then it's considered kula b'sil. And here we're making it kal for the balabayas. So the Gemara says, no. So Shammai says it's Shichcha, and Shammai says it's ain't a Shichcha, but still says it's Shichcha. And this is considered a chumra basil. Why is it a chumra? Maybe it's a kula. Maybe it's a kula basil because he's mekel. He says that it is Shichcha, so it's a kula for the aniyim. Kali the balabayis ve'ena choymel aniyim shadayin. No, they cannot say that it's a kula. They don't deserve it. It's not theirs b'chlal. So in the default has to be you have to look only at the perspective of the balabayis. And according to the perspective of the balabayis, it's definitely, in that case, perspective of the balabayis, it's definitely since it was his originally, right? So Basil is machmer. So that's why we can enumerate that as Bakula b'shamar mechur Basil. Okay, this is the end. We'll continue soon. This is Daf Nun and Nun Aleph. Nun and Nun Aleph.